it's been a while since Gundam has been in the spotlight. It's been a long while. A lot of people blame Love Life for that, which in a way is true. Studio Sunrise started putting more investment into Love Life because it was the breadwinner at the time. It was making a lot of money and it was doing very well for itself. Even to this day, Love Life has a very, very large fan base. Heck, the convention I go to on a yearly basis had a Love Live event, and it was the most packed and most entertaining event of all of them I have seen. So much music and dancing, so many cosplayers of Love Live. It was crazy. I knew I had that many Love Live fans in my city, and stuff like, wow, this is amazing. So I was happy to see that. But yes, um, but I'm not here to talk about Love Live. I'm just saying that because the money that they made with Love Live, they were able to make Gundam more, you know, relevant, I would say. When The Witch from Mercury was first announced, people in the West thought it was going to be woke because it was focused on two main females who are engaged to each other. And I believe the word woke has been put out of context thanks through the years of our version of social media here in the West, in a way. Woke was just us realizing the corruption that was going on and the injustices. But then, as time went on, it now represents the injustices on the other side, where they're just trying to replace and change history and a lot of other stuff people say about it. And I can see why they say that in a way. Different perspective, of course, on this. But anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm here to talk about the Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. It depicts two main characters of two girls who are now engaged to each other after beating the crap out of their former fiance, Mr. Gruel, who was kind of a jerk in a way. But we'll get to him later on. So it shows how this girl that Stella is now engaged to is also the daughter of a very big CEO of a company, and she hates this man's guts. But near the end of the series, you realize things aren't as black and white as you think they are. We get the normal things: going to school, Stella and her goals of making friends and doing things off her checklist and stuff. And she's more of a yes man kind of person. She just does what everyone tells her to do, and her goals come secondary towards everyone else's demands. But she rides a Gundam that we seem familiar with, but in this universe it's called Ariel. And Ariel to her is like family, very close family. And she loves Ariel as like a sister. So they fight other Gundams to keep in bets. So Gundams are still used for war, but in this term, Gundams are used for business opportunities in a way to show strength of power, to show what you have to trade on the table, what you can offer on the table in a way. For instance, say you want to challenge this person. If they win, they get this, and if I win, I get that. And because of that is how they fight the Gundams as representatives, and whoever wins get what they want. They also get power and influence. People say, not only do they have good Gundams and good merch, they also get picked up by other companies and sponsors who would like to invest in them. So they'll further their business and profit throughout time. Now, the saying goes, war never changes. Thank you, Fallout, for that. And it doesn't change. The core basis of war never changes, the ideologies and the conflicts. But of course, the tools and advancements do change. The way we do war changes, but the core concepts are always there. The conflicts of ideologies, differences, and ambitions and greed are always there. And showing how in this new modern Gundam that we have is showing that not just military might wins wars no more. It's influence. It's the spreading of information. It's corporations now. It shows that the politicians no longer have the power to control everyone. It's the corporations now. They go in and put money in the pockets of the politicians and the influencers and tell them to grant them favors if they win certain elections. So they win those elections, they get be in the favor of that politician and let certain things slide under the rug. And that's the new form of war, in a way. It's about who gets their information out first, whether it's right or wrong. Twitter is a perfect example of that. You can put tons of false information out there, and people would easily fall for it. And even after you show them proof and the truth of certain things, some will still won't believe you, despite how much evidence you may have. Their minds are already made up. And something that's more of a personal vendetta than it is an actual basis of logic, in a way. So that's kind of scary. For instance, these corporations on Twitter will make tons of posts showing how they have certain group sides on certain things by saying, well, we have these new products. All they care about is making a profit. They'll pretend to be on your side until it's too late. Until, like, okay, we don't need you no more. We're not making no money off you no more. So therefore, we'll go on and pander to somebody else. And that's what they do. It's all business, baby. Making that dollar no matter what. Right now, conflict and division is a profit right now these days. And it's showing here in Gundam Witch of Mercury. The conflict between the Martians, well, the Spatians, I guess you'd call them, and the Earthlings are big. The conflict sponsors, the desperations of the Earthlings seem relevant in this new day and age. And the Spatians, to keep ahead of the race at all times, no matter what, is showing it. But this time it's at a school. It's showing this group of innocent kids who just want to make something out of themselves are being caught in between a conflict of corporations and war, only caring about their own bottom line. And they're in the crosshairs of this conflict, being held hostages, war crimes, mass distortion, all of those terrible things that happens in war. And as you can see, the lines become blurry. In the first season, it brings you into insecurity for newcomers that this is what Gundam is, just robots fighting each other for the sake of bets. But then towards the end, it's showing that the true face of Gundam, the corruption, the mass murdering, it being swept under the rug constantly, the spreading of false information throughout time. It's showing all those things towards the end. And then by second season, it completely takes its mask off and goes full throttle with that, bringing in the old comers as well. Now things are as black and white as they were in the first season. Now characters that you did not like or you didn't care for are now characters you seem to be cheering on for. For instance, Mr. Gruel, he was the former fiance of the bride, but now he kept losing and then he lost everything. And I'm not going to full spoilers, but things happen to him to a point during the middle of season 2. He comes back and he seems to be this hero. He has this hero's welcoming in a way where everyone's cheering for him despite how low his chances are of winning these battles. Everyone is on his side because of how much they realize they needed him or how much he could do to help people out now. Now all he cares for, instead of him just keeping up the status quo and keeping the image of his company online, is now about protecting things that are precious to him now. He found something truly worth fighting for, and now people see him. Heck, he is the most liked character now in the series, despite his change. People love him now. Heck, I love this guy now. And then there's characters people are raising eyebrows about. For instance, the bride. The bride seemed like someone who completely hated her father and saw the corruption that was going on, and wanted to do different and better than him. But then it turns out the father had his reason of doing what he did, and she ends up actually caring for her father after all. She was just going through this rebellious phase, tsundere thing, and as time goes on. And season 2, she kind of ended up doing the same things the father does. And in a way, at the end of it, I bet she'll understand what the father was going through. The father was doing things to protect Precious to him, but he just did a terrible way of doing it, and now she's doing it as well. Then you have Stella, the main character, the girl who rides Ariel, who always listens to everything Mama tells her to do, despite the fact. And she's in this state where she doesn't think for herself, but she's happy with that, content. As long as she gets to fight with her Gundam and live her happy school life, she's okay. But as time goes on, she can kill people without caring, not having any form of trauma about it whatsoever. And she doesn't see what the things she does sometimes are bad. She has a very broken moral compass in a way because the way she was raised by her mother. Her mother told her these things are good As long as you keep the things that you care about, everything could be okay. So she is the perfect tool to be used by her own mother. And towards the middle of the series, she will have to lose all that in order to understand what she has to do for herself to gain those things back. So yes, this Gundam series, especially in season 2, hits you hard with the good music, animation, and now how things are no longer as black and white that they used to be in season 1. It takes off that mask and it does it well. And it brings in newcomers and oldcomers all together. So when people are saying that this show is woke, maybe it is. But then again, the word woke was taken out of context years ago, like most words in today in the English language, unfortunately. So I'm enjoying this series. It's really good. It's one I'm always looking forward to. To the point I was kind of upset that we only got a recap episode this week, right when things were getting good. But oh well. So that's why I say Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch of Mercury, is a must watch. It's great. I can't wait for that Ariel figurine to come out so I can buy it. I never had a Gundam figurine before, or a Gundam toy. My brother had a Gundam toy, but that was, what, SG Gundam or something? And they were the golden versions, so they were very rare. I don't know what he did with them, but hey. But anyway, I saw the video here. I hope this encourages you guys to go pick up this new Gundam series. It's definitely worth the watch. So that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been a Madcrownxox on Anime. Signing out.